Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg. I hope you guys are ready to unpack and get into some good conversations today.
And I'm Jess, and this is our podcast, Baggage Claim. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to Baggage Claim. If it's your first time here, thank you for listening, joining in. We are on episode 60. It's pretty exciting for us.
60.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you call Baggage Claim home, you know the deal. This is a place where we help start some conversations and help hopefully create some community around relationships, blended families, and just family in general, all those good things. So hopefully you grab your favorite drink, whatever that is, no matter what your day's been. I have mine right here with me. It's not just going light tonight, but
Going back to what you said, if it's your first time here, I would love to know how you stumbled upon us.
yeah, please somebody. We are in 53 different countries now,
We are.
309 different cities.
Yeah.
Could I get one person
Yeah. Every time we ask
to get
for
on a
some-
social media and say, I'm from so-and-so, I found this, blah. And I
we
would,
would love it.
Hey, Greg,
you know what?
I'm from Gainesville,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I listen to it.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, now we
Producer
have
Michael.
lots of sarcasm. You ever wondered
Thank
what?
you, Producer Michael, because I would never have known that.
You ever walked into your job and you just been like, I love where I work. The culture here is awesome. It's amazing. I love the people I'm with. This is just a fun, great environment. Or you maybe on the other hand, you walk in and you say, this place sucks and I can't wait till I leave.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
to
okay,
both.
so we're on both. So we've all been in those, but
Yeah.
so tonight we're going to unpack the idea of what if we actually talked about and looked at the culture of our family, because all families have cultures.
Yep.
All of them have them. And so,
Whether it's intentional or not.
oh yeah, you may think, well, we haven't done anything to set our culture. Well, that means you have one.
Okay, pause. What do you mean by culture?
What do you mean by culture?
I just asked you that.
I know. Why are we, I thought we,
No, I just want to make sure we explain what we mean by culture, setting the culture of your family.
okay. Well, Michael, do you want to give us we're going to get straight into let's jump right into the
Well, we
definition
looked into
of
it
the
because we're also
going to
tell stories and stuff
We
too.
are.
Yeah, we were. So I was going
I
to,
jumped ahead of the stories.
you jumped way
Well,
ahead of the story. You jumped way ahead of everything.
let's talk culture
everybody.
and then we'll go to stories.
It's cool.
So,
okay. Hey, you know what? This is like our podcast, and we can do whatever the heck we want.
I just was thinking we
you
just
even
said
have notes.
I do, but I was just thinking my teacher brain kicked in and I said to myself, we just said culture a lot of times. What if a new listener doesn't know what we mean by the word
Then
culture?
I would say hang around because we're going to get to it.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to unpack that.
Ooh,
know
nice.
What? I thought that was good.
Don't be sassy because you have a new beard.
I do. I got a beard look. I'm thinking it's either
Oh my
wisdom
gosh,
or
how did I
really
not
old.
even notice that?
It's silver fox.
You didn't even notice it?
Well, also, I've known you
Michael.
while you've had beards for like years. So
Yeah, but look
it
at
didn't
it.
even.
He's a silver fox. Look at it.
But I don't know what that means.
He is a fox.
Is that
What does that
bad?
mean?
Yeah, what does
It's
that
like,
mean?
it's like there's white in your
Yeah,
beard.
there's a lot of white in there, yeah.
But silver fox is
Almost like Santa Claus white, if I'm not
nope,
careful.
it's not that bad.
Okay.
You still got brown in there
Okay,
and
there's a
blonde.
little bit.
But like silver fox is like, yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I'm
It's
glad it's
like,
doing it for
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The listeners are like, bro, you got me for 5 more seconds, then I'm leaving.
Okay, fine.
So if
So
you're new,
the definition of culture.
No, we're not getting into that
Okay.
yet.
I don't know what I'm doing tonight.
We're doing culture later. We're going to talk about what culture is and how we set it and how it works. But first off, we're going to share stories from our childhood.
okay, great.
So that instead of doing question time,
It's going to be story time.
yes. Thank you very much. So with that being said, and thank you for all the help singing.
My.
It's a night tonight. That's what it is.
We're having fun. That's what
It
we're
is
doing.
a night, and we're getting quite a late start.
Yeah, we are.
We normally have already been recording, if not almost done.
Yeah, we've been
at this
having
point.
our mechanical
And it
issues.
is a school night for JJ.
And it is a
it's
work
after
night.
you're on the downfall. Don't worry about it. You're just trying to keep kids
You're about to
alive.
not work for 3 months. You're
It
fine.
is flashlight day tomorrow.
It's
my classroom.
flashlight day. That's what you're going into tomorrow.
I am.
Okay, so we're gonna share a
I'll
childhood
explain
story,
later.
whatever that looks like. Who's going first? Something that can be a marking moment for you, something that you just kind of remember.
I'll go first.
Okay.
And a childhood memory that is really vivid for me is when I was at my grandparents' house, whether I was a little girl or I could drive myself there, every single time, and you witnessed this too, and Miranda did too, every single time when you would leave, when I was growing up, it was Papa and Nanny, but then it became just Nanny. She would stand on the porch and wave until she couldn't see you anymore.
And you had to honk the horn.
And you have to honk your horn when you came around this corner by their house.
Yeah, if you didn't honk the horn, she would call you.
She would call you.
Yeah, she'd call me a
immediately
couple
if you
times
didn't
when I
honk.
honked the horn. She would,
Really?
Yes.
Everything
That's
okay?
cool. Every time I drive up to my nephews, my brother's house, or my nephews, because they're usually like always outside playing baseball or something, I always like honk when I'm still like half a mile off, and they're all also like, "Hey, Uncle Michael."
Yeah. But that's
That's
what
awesome.
you had to toot toot your horn when you went around the corner of the street right by their property. But that's a very warm memory for me.
That's cool.
I think one for me is that I lived up the road from my grandparents, and they were called Mama and Pawpaw, and they had a big old farm. So summers and most of my days, most of the time, if I could, I would spend my time down there because they had a lake out back and you could fish. Had a creek
And
in
you
front.
were Mama's favorite.
Yeah, my mom. She loved. I would put puzzles together. She loved to watch me put puzzles together. So that's another memory that she would buy me a puzzle every Thursday. But my grandparents had this massive table, and we always had this big garden. So she cooked all the time. But I always remember we would always sit around the table, and I sat at the spot where my back was against the wall where the table was. I don't know why, but this table would fit like 12. It was a huge table.
It's a big table.
This is a big family. But we would always go and they would cook. And then they would make cornbread in this really big square, but it wasn't very thick. And no one ever cut it. You would pass it around, you would break
break it?
off. You just break off what you
Ooh.
wanted. And you just
Family style.
Yeah, it's just blather it with it. But it was so
I
big, you
love
never ran out of
that.
it. And I always remember that was such a cool thing. You just break off a piece of cornbread and
That is cool.
I'm
just
looking
kinda
at
pass
Miranda
it around.
because she can cook so well. Okay, you have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it was still, I mean, but it wasn't very, like my mom's cornbread is really
It's thick, yeah.
And this was not, it's about half that. And so it wasn't in like a traditional, she didn't make it in
Okay.
traditional. I had to ask my mom what she made.
What she made it
My
in.
mom made it in, yeah. But I always remember that.
I love that you just break it off.
Yeah, you just break it. And if you were lucky,
You got
and you
the
got
corner.
there early, you could break a corner. There was only 4 of them, so you had to get there pretty
Ooh.
quick.
See, I'm more of a
Corner.
middle piece guy though.
Oh, no, I like the crusty corners. Crust on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a childhood memory for me.
I love that.
All right, so I got 2, if that's allowed.
Sure.
It's our podcast, just like you
because
said.
one of them is when I was younger, my grandparents did not live in the same state as us. So when we kind of lived around, at the time, my grandparents lived in Georgia, in Gwinnett. And we either lived in Florida or we were in Mississippi or we were in St. Louis or Texas or Tennessee. But whenever my grandparents would come and visit us, my grandpa would always take all the kids out for Butterfinger milkshakes at Dairy Queen.
Okay.
And I will tell you this, I cannot eat Butterfinger, smell Butterfinger, or anything Butterfinger without remembering my grandfather.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, I don't mean to hijack your story, but that's a vivid memory for me and my nanny is popcorn.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I eat popcorn, which is often in our house, I think of Nanny because when I would get to spend the night with her on the weekends, that's what she and I, just me and
yeah.
her, would do. Yeah, I love
That's
that.
so cool. And then ones with my dad, when my older brothers went off to college, they went off at the same time. There was a few years apart between them, but they ended up both going to college at the same time, which is a lot because we had 5 kids in the family. And then it went down to just me, my older sister, and my younger brother, who was a lot younger than me at the time. And so my dad went out and bought an Xbox and Halo, and we would play Halo, like the campaign mode. Like, I can't tell you how many nights we finished playing and came upstairs out of the basement and realized that the sun was rising.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
that sounds like Thomas and Cody.
So lots of
That's
really great
fun.
memories.
That's cool.
Aw. Miranda, do you have one you want to share? No? Okay, that's cool.
So the thing is, man, we all have these stories and they're kind of marking for us.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled upon we live in social media world a lot, just having a podcast, constantly trying to post, get out there, see what's happening. And I stumbled across a reel and I sent it to our podcast group.
You just sent it to me.
Sent it to you. And I was like, hey, listen to this. And
I was sitting at recess with my students, and I was sitting in my recess chair boo-hooing.
So we're going to read that to you because I think it kind of encapsulates what we want to talk about tonight in a cool, different kind of way. You going to be able to read it without?
No, I will cry, and that's okay because it's emotional and it's such a good meaning. But before I start, I want to give credit to where it came from. It was a Instagram account, and I believe they have a podcast as well, but it's at 2TO_SOW _A_ and then seed. So it's to sow a seed. And so here we go. So someday your child will describe their childhood home to someone you have never met. I'm already getting choked up. They'll sit at a table you did not set in a home you didn't build with people who only know them as adults. And they'll tell them a story about what it was like growing up in your house. Not every part or detail, just the parts that stayed. The feeling of walking through the door, the tone at the table, whether home felt warm or unwelcoming, whether it was joyful or tense, safe or performative. We don't get to choose the story they tell or edit it later, but we are writing it now in ordinary dinners and random Tuesday nights and moments like you're sitting in right now, right this second. So long after the Legos are gone and the schedules change and the house gets quieter, the story of home keeps speaking. We can't choose a story they tell someday, but I can keep setting the table like it matters because it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're making me tear up.
I know. There's other parts that we've talked about that stood out, but right now when I was reading it, the story of home keeps speaking.
Yeah, always.
That is so heavy.
And see,
in good ways and bad ways, honestly.
Yeah, I started to say, homes always have stories, and we sometimes talk about the good ones, but there's also some bad ones.
Yeah.
There's hard times. There's good times. But that speaks to culture so clearly.
Yeah.
So much that and if you're out there and you don't have kids, this may hit different for you.
Yeah.
It may sound different if you're thinking about having a family. If it's just the two of you right now, you're thinking about adding. It's so crazy what an impact you have and what it makes. Like we all just shared stories of the small little things from our past. Like I can still tell you what my papa used to wear all the time when we sat at the table. I still remember with the smells. I still remember just the loud, you remember all those things about it.
Yeah.
And our families are the same way. And as parents, we get to set that culture.
We do. And I mean, if you grew up in a home with multiple children and you're those parents that are trying to set that culture and you're trying to provide experiences and you're trying to provide an atmosphere where they feel loved and welcomed, how they receive it may hit different for each child.
Yeah.
But it's the intention behind it of what are you after in your home?
Yeah. I remember we tried to, when we first collaborated this thing, whatever we did to this.
That's the word we're going to go with.
I don't know.
It's
mixed.
Joined.
You're speaking of the
Blended?
family, not the podcast.
Yeah, our family.
Okay,
yes.
Blended.
When we blended our
We
family.
blended it.
Did we? Okay.
We did.
We were going to go camping. We had decided to go camping. Well, with a family of 6, camping is like a small vacation.
It
if
is.
you have to buy everything. Tents, sleeping bags, everything. I mean,
Because
we spent enough, we could have went to the beach.
we should have,
Gone to the beach.
I mean, with what we spent.
Yes.
Now,
But I
Well-
remember the boys, though, we were sitting there and they were like, do you think this tent will fit in the living room? It's a valid.
Before we went camping.
Yeah. I was like, valid question. Let's try it out.
Let's find out.
So
Actually, back up a little bit. It was you and Aaron Grace only at home. I'm pretty sure, or Callie. It was just you and the girls. The boys were not home.
oh,
It was you and one of the girls. It might have been Aaron Grace.
okay. It may have been me. I just wanted to see if the tent would fit in the living room.
Yeah.
But I remember sending Jess a pic going,
Yeah, because
"Hey,
I was at a school
FYI,
event that night.
the tent doesn't fit in the living room."
And I was like, wait, hold on.
And it was set up halfway, part of the way.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was you and the littlest. But regardless, yeah.
But we had, at our house, we had water gun wars inside the house,
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
but we had hardwood
Easter
floors
egg
throughout
hunts
the
year
house.
round.
Yeah, we would hunt eggs and time each other to see who could find them in the
We
basement.
would. Girls versus boys.
We would, there was just lots of, like, you get to set the culture of the funness of your house. I remember we would just do random things sometimes that were just, didn't make sense, but they were fun and the kids wanted to do them.
Oh, the thrift store challenge.
Yes, we would
Remember
do.
that?
Yes, we would do thrift store challenges way back. This is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
14. No, they were. It was probably
Almost
like
15.
12 years ago by then because they were little.
It was almost 15 years ago.
okay. So it's been a while, but we would go.
We give them a
and-
budget.
Mhm.
And then we also did it at the flea market. And the budget was different at the flea market. But we would give them a budget and they would only be able to buy things that begin with the same letter of their first name.
And so they would usually have $5. It wasn't a lot because we
It
were
wasn't.
broke.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out a way to occupy a lot of time,
Yeah.
and they come up with some really cool
They were
things.
very creative.
Yeah, and we went to Five Below one time. You give someone $5 and say,
Yeah.
find something that rhymes with your name. Five Below. Here's $5.
Literally.
And then we would just go play with the toys out or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is we had for that afternoon. Those are the things we did to try to help set our culture.
Yeah.
Just because we're like, we want to have fun. We want to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
our time together. And we're not going to take ourselves that serious because life has already been hard enough for all of us.
Yeah. By the time we got together, it was
Yeah.
serious enough.
We had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of enjoy life. And so we did those things. I don't know that I spent a lot of time in corporate development up until then, talking about culture, talking about just a lot of time facilitating groups.
Because
and-
I will tell you, I had not had one single solitary thought about culture ever until you were telling me about why that's important.
I think it hit when we came together, it hit me that this is something that we push and we push and we push and we push in the corporate world, but we never hear anyone push it in the home. And it's so crazy to me because there's some stats I read, they're on my phone, which is now recording us, that culture in an organization is the single dynamic that allows organizations is probably the primary reason for the success or failure to companies.
Yeah.
Companies that have healthy cultures earn 60 to 200% higher output than those who have unhealthy cultures.
That's crazy.
That's in a workplace.
Yeah.
Think about that in the prospect of your home, of like the culture. And even if it's just you and your spouse at this time and you don't have kids, you still have a culture.
You do.
If there are kids, you all have cultures. And if you have two blended families coming together, you had a culture that you brought with you. I had one that I brought with me. And then we're trying to combine those together, which is a new organization,
Yeah.
a new team. And it's,
Even you and I, we at the core of it, we had the same values, but our cultures were very different in
Yes.
our homes as single parents.
oh, yeah. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to talk about the time I showed up with lottery tickets and
Go ahead.
Callie and I were scratching lottery tickets at the convenience store at the counter.
Y'all were
I was
coming to
scratching,
our
not
house.
Callie because she was underage.
Yeah,
She
but
was just
and then
watching.
y'all were coming to our house for dinner. I was cooking dinner for all of us.
Yes. And so this is there's probably people out there who are going to hate me for this, but I don't care. This is what we did. It was our life.
It was fun.
Callie goes, wouldn't it be fun if we got some lottery tickets and went to Jess's house? I was like,
I was Miss Jessie then still.
that's a great idea. Let's grab some and go. And so we got some lottery tickets and we
So
went
here
to
comes
Jessica's house.
Mr. Greg and
Little
Callie
did you
and
know.
Cody.
Yeah,
no,
well-
it gets better.
I had lottery tickets and I was like, look, kids, what are these? And Thomas was like, what is this? And I was like, you scratch this, and if these numbers match, you get that number.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, here's a quarter.
Yeah.
Scratch away.
Thomas
So
had
he thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
But he
Thomas
never-
was 10. Aaron Grace was 8. Yeah, she was 8. So they got carried away in the scratching. It was like, woo! And Callie and Cody were all excited for them to do something that they have done before.
I don't think we didn't win anything.
No,
we didn't win
and
anything.
that was beside the point because then, then it dawned on Aaron Grace. She was just like, wait a minute. And she burst into tears, like hysterical sobbing, and crawls up in my lap. She was like, Mommy, are we bad people now? Like hysterical.
So that tells you the two different cultures our kids were
Very
living
different.
in at the time we met. So,
Yeah.
yes, it was very different.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, we were talking about culture.
Yeah.
So, Michael, we really wanted to share this a lot earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have, but
So, some things on culture, just through research and things that I've learned. One, to define it, it is a shared set of values.
That was so close. You
Yeah.
were so close.
Okay, so I have my headphones on and it's slightly delayed. I'm going to take that off so I can talk better.
Okay.
It is a shared set of values, beliefs, behaviors, traditions, and norms that shape how members of that group interact with each other and how they interact with the outside world. It is a collective identity of the group. Basically summarized as this is how we do things around here.
right. And that's so different. Think about in the aspects of a relationship. Your wife grew up in a culture.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in a different culture. You come together with those different cultures.
You're trying to put it together.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
trying to put it together. That's why that first year is.
And what happens
Tough.
if
Yeah.
you don't
First
be
1
intentional
year,
and
I
try
would say
to
the
put it
first.
together?
What'd you say?
What happens if you're not intentional to try to put it together?
You struggle for a while.
Because they just kind of clash.
It's going to be a
clash.
long-term struggle that you struggle to identify,
Yeah.
honestly.
So
I don't
one
mean
thing,
to struggle twice, but still.
yeah, one
Lot of
thing
struggle.
that I love is there's this analogy or this imagery that it puts with culture, and that's an image of an iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes different concepts of, okay, you see someone, right? You can understand relatively what they're about, but you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yep.
Deep
Yep.
beliefs, reasons why they do things the way they do them are deeper foundational thoughts, beliefs, ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lower part of your iceberg. So when it talks about culture, it separates it in these different areas. And so start at the bottom, what you believe. Things typically not always spoken, but these are deeply ingrained, unconscious assumptions that drive your behavior. Second is the middle. What do you say? How do you talk to others? Stated values, beliefs, conscious rules that your group or your family claim to uphold. So like, we're going to always eat dinner together.
Right.
We as a family are always going to treat elders with respect, or education is our top priority,
Right.
or whatever that is. And then lastly, the surface, it's what everyone else sees. They see the family and holiday traditions. They see inside jokes, routines, how the house gets kept inside, outside. How do you greet each other as a family member? How do you treat those outside of your family?
Right.
Things that are observable.
Yeah. How do you handle pressure? How do you handle
Yes.
conflict? How do you? Yep.
And the thing is, like, if that deep root is not clarified and understood, that top side could be 1,000 different things.
It could be.
Oh yeah.
And I love how this article states this. It says it is the deep, what you believe, the deep side, the foundation of your culture. It is an unconscious assumption in most organizations.
Right.
Well, I mean, and going off of what you said, it could be 1,000 different things. Even in your own family, you can cultivate a culture. You can make sure that you're teaching and growing together, or trying to, and the things that you say that you are about.
Yeah.
But then every member of your family, or you can compare it to an organization, they're not always on board,
No.
and their perception can be completely different.
Oh, 100%.
Well, and I'd
But
say
you're
this.
all in the same culture,
Yes.
respectively.
Yes, if you have a tied, deep level culture, understanding, of belief. Like, for example, husband and wife, like we're always going to prioritize family over work, you know, and
Right.
we talked about this last week. Like, I will never choose money over time with my kids. Like,
Right.
that's just going to be a foundation that I build.
Yep.
But if that's only shared by one
Yeah.
of two people in a married relationship,
That's
Yep.
not a shared
You struggle.
culture.
that's not a shared culture, because then you get to the top layer, the surface, what everyone sees. When there's that extra call to come in late at work, or when there's that project you got to take home, or there's ball games, or there's a play, or, you know, whatever that family item is that's going on, you could be on completely different moons entirely
Yeah.
of decisions that you make. But even you brought up the point, you could have a decision you may not agree on, but if you both know your deep rooted culture is aligned, you can still be okay with things you're not typically okay with, because you know what direction you're heading in.
Right. And it could be just a season. Just knowing
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
hey,
Yes.
it's not, I got a project. I really got to buckle down. I got to do this for the next couple of weeks. And it's like, yeah, no, but that's not the norm.
Yes.
It's not going to be the norm.
But I think coming back, and I don't know why this phrase is sticking out to me. And if it's just me catching on to something that's hitting me for right now, like, you can tell me and we can move on. But the thought that the deep rooted culture is so many times unconsciously assumed.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about them.
Yeah.
We don't flesh them out and make sure that our culture's ideals are aligned.
Isn't it cute how just about everything we talk about goes back to communication?
Well, we talked to Jess and I.
does.
Jess and I
Every
have
Yeah, it
done-
does.
single thing.
This is 60 plus odd episodes we've done on on marriage relationships. We've developed a 9-step process framework for coaching that we're going to start rolling out in the next months or so. I'm really excited about it. Spent a lot of time, but it comes down to these really kind of core things. Jess and I were like, if I could sit down with somebody and I only had 2 hours, what are the 2 things that I would focus on? And we were like communication and expectations. It's like, those are the 2 things we would focus on.
I feel
so
like,
much.
I mean, in all of this, I mean, hours and hours of discussions that we've had, just you and I, and then collectively as a team, everything goes back to communication and expectations. Everything.
Well, the assumptions there are the expectations part
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
making assumptions on because I'm expecting you to do this, and this based off of the history that I have of the culture that I grew up in or the culture that I was raised in. So therefore, we make those assumptions.
Yeah. And going on the lines of communication, I guess, when we were talking about this earlier, you had said something to the effect of that the problem is that we don't think about these things until it's too late.
It really, and that's something that I have been it's really just stuck in my head the last month or 2 that I can't figure out or get rid of. It's like, why do we wait till our marriages crash out before we go seek help
Yeah.
to try to
Bro.
make them better? Why do we wait
Yeah.
till things are past? Like when the kids are gone, we're like, oh, did we do a good job of culture? We should have worked on our culture in our home. It's like,
Because we don't
why,
like our kids.
why do we do that? It's
Yeah.
like human behavior. It's like we have to wait for something to break before we try
Why
to make
do
it
we
better.
not even think about that? Why?
That phrase you mentioned in whatever writing you read at the beginning, and you may even want to reread it, but it says you can't edit it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go back and change it once you found out what it is.
The sentence is, it's kind of long. I'll read it quickly. The feeling of walking through the door, the tone at the table, whether home felt warm or unwelcoming, joyful or tense, safe or performative. We don't get to choose a story they tell or edit it later, but we are writing it now in ordinary dinners and random Tuesday nights and moments like you're sitting in right now. You don't get to go back and edit it. But the problem is, sadly, that's when we think of it the most.
I don't even care if you say we eat out all the time. You said the culture at your table.
Wherever you are.
If sitting in a restaurant, how
Yeah.
you treat the person who's serving you,
Yeah.
how you speak to them, how you treat them, how you treat the person, the hostess, how you leave your place, like everything you do.
How do you interact with each other at the table? If the hostess is standing there when you and your family are talking and hanging out or not talking,
On your phones.
what does the hostess think? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, it's there. So
It's there.
anyway, there's a lot to that. So it's just the idea of going, okay, so we haven't done a great job focusing on culture now. So moving forward right now, this is something you've heard it. Knowledge is power. So put it to use.
Yeah.
So what does this look like moving forward? How do we get to this point to say, okay, we know culture is important. We know it's a huge part. It plays a huge role in the success of our families. How do we do it?
So to unpack a little bit, I want to go back. I know I just read something, but I want to read something else from this quote that is it should hit you in the heart. I mean, it honestly should. So the quote is, "I can't choose, or we can't choose the story they tell someday, but I can keep setting the table like it matters because it does."
Yes. And can I say, I think, how am I saying this? Many times when I know I've failed at this has been predominantly in work environments for me, in that I always kind of waited thinking someone else would do it.
You can't wait for
Like,
someone
hey,
else to set the culture for
surely
you.
that's not all on me. And I remember, because I had one mentor and boss, friend, all of the above, say, hey, the reality is this: if you're not doing it, it's never going to get done. So take up that mantle, take up the charge, and just do it. And there's a statistic you talk about. We've probably talked about it on this podcast at some point, but it's the majority of success, 80% of success is just showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the quality of work you do. It's just doing it and finishing it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Be present.
The thing I want to tell guys, though, if you're out there and you're a man, and I don't know what your situation is, your wife may be at home. She may be a stay-at-home. She may spend more time with the kids. You may be working a lot to help provide. If that's fine, that's your choice. That's, again, you guys get to set the culture by that. And I'm not going to dig into that tonight because there's not enough time, but we could if we wanted to. You come home with your culture from work, and sometimes you take that culture from work and you try to impose that culture into your home. Your wife has a different culture because she's been with them all day. Then you either feel like an outsider or you feel like you're butting heads with your wife, and we're not getting anywhere here because we're pushing two different things down the road here. And you're like, well, you do this, you do that. When I tell you to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been in work environments like that. They're not very productive, but at the same time, they're out there. So it's one of those things, like, you have to figure this out together.
Because there's going to be a gap between you two.
Oh, yes. Yes. And it's something you have to sit down, get on the same page, talk about. Simple things like, what do we want our family to be about? What do we, when people look at our family, what do we want them to say? If someone saw us sitting in a restaurant, what would they say about us? If someone came to our house and sat at our table, what would they say about our family?
And it's not about what people think about you is the big idea here. It's
No, but you get an outside perspective.
It's easy to tell.
Yes.
That's
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to tell. It sure is.
And you could, I used to love to play this game when I would do consulting. I'd walk into a room, you fly into a room somewhere across the country, you walk into a boardroom and everybody's pissed off most of the time. You're there trying to help solve an issue. But immediately you could tell who was leading the culture and who was leading the room instantly. And I was like, oh, I can tell you who the HR director is, who the CEO is.
Oh, wow.
Who's so-and-so. Like, really quickly, you get so good at pointing those people out. It's just because it's easier to see because somebody from the outside looking in.
That's crazy.
People are seeing the culture of your family. I'm not saying it depends on who cares what they think. Are you happy with the way your culture of your family is? That's the more important question.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is that you get to set the table.
Yeah, you do. You don't get to, you are setting the table.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing it.
Absolutely. And I love this thought. As you were reading that earlier, I was like, every day you've got a table to set.
You do.
So how are you going to set
And
it?
keep doing it because it matters. That's the thing too. Is like, is it easy? No. Is it easy to navigate raising kids and all the things that go with it and different jobs and like all the responsibilities? Is it easy? Absolutely not. Like, no. We can tell you for sure we lived it and it's not. But does it matter? Is it worth the effort? Absolutely. Yes.
But I will tell you, I had a moment. When Friday night, sorry.
It's okay.
We went to, in this amazing town of Gainesville that we live in, Gainesville, Georgia. They have on the lake, the Olympics came here in 96, so they set up a rowing venue. They built this really nice place in the
beautiful.
sticks on this really
I know,
beautiful
right?
Yeah,
lake.
but it's beautiful.
And
middle
we
of
still
nowhere.
reap the benefits of it.
Yes,
do.
and so now they have Food Truck Fridays. They have live bands show up, food trucks everywhere. It's a blast, and you can sit on the lake, listen to live music. It's a really cool event. So Aaron and Thomas went with us. We just packed our food, packed a cooler, and then afterwards we came back and we just sat in the garage. It was just, it's so simple and it's so silly.
It is. Miranda and Lucy were out of town visiting
they were
her
in South
family.
Carolina, and so.
It was just you and Thomas
Yeah,
because JJ was tired.
Yeah, so she went to bed. So we just sat out there and we smoked cigars and we had a couple of drinks and we just listened to music. And it hit me. I was like, I never did that with my
Yeah.
dad, ever. And I was like, it's cool. that
That's
we
one
get
of
to have
Thomas's
that.
favorite things.
Yeah, it's cool
because-
to get to have that experience with him. And
Yeah.
it's probably, it meant as much to me as it would to him.
It
But it
does.
was just a fun kind of thing to go, man, I never got to do that. I always wanted to, but I never got that. And it's just
Then
cool to.
You're providing that for Thomas, so he doesn't have to say, "I never had that."
Yeah, just to help set the culture, even as, I mean, he's a grown man now. He's
Yeah.
got jobs, he's got a wife, he's got kids, but we can still have those
A kid.
moments where we get to, there's another one coming soon.
No. Miranda, no.
We can always hope. So,
Oh, yeah, we're like, okay, yay.
but we, even now when they show up or they come over, when Lucy comes to the house, we get to set the table.
We do.
Yeah.
We get the culture that she gets to experience when she's in our house and when anyone else is in our house. We usually have small groups that have met in our house for the last 10 years of our lives. We've had a small group meeting in our house to help set the culture and table of this is how our family is.
And the reality is you're not going to see, I mean, you're building something over a long time.
Yeah.
You're not going to see immediate results. You're not going to see some massive structure that you've built in a matter of months. No, you're building something for your lifetime.
Yep.
Is literally what you're building. But not only that, but you're carrying on. And this is one thing that my family always has said, and I've shared this story. My two remaining grandparents that were alive passed away together a few years ago. And one of the things that we as cousins, kids, grandkids said numerous times was what a legacy they left behind.
Yep.
Because the culture that they built in their family did not stop at their family.
Right.
It continued down to their kids. It's continued down to me and my siblings. It's carried down to my nieces and nephews. And I will tell you, when you see something that is generational, that is built upon the foundations, the mindsets, the heart, how we interact with each other, how do we take care of family, how do we treat outside people, I feel like we miss so much of that in the world today.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
We miss so much because that's something that doesn't get taught
No.
in education. It doesn't get taught in marriage classes. It doesn't. This is something that is a generational wealth, if you will, that isn't money.
Emotional wealth.
It's emotional, absolutely.
I remember we had a thing, we were teaching our boys manners at the time.
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Or yes, no, sir, no, ma'am. And if you did not say it, you did 10 push-ups on the spot. And so
My family has something very similar.
we literally were out in public.
And you nailed them when it came to me. It was.
They would do push-ups, and
I remember in the literally Target parking lot, Thomas and Cody both had to give 10 push-ups before we could go inside.
I love that.
And the girls were over there just like,
yeah, but it was just
we said yes, sir. Ha
but it was just a respect thing, and that was
It
just
is.
again that was a culture we were setting in our house.
It is.
And so
But the important thing I feel like to take away is to keep setting the table because it matters.
well, first
Yeah.
off, like sit down with your significant other
Yeah.
and talk about the culture that you have and the culture you want.
Yeah.
And don't, it's like you said, this is a legacy thing. This is not something that we just want to do this to make, this better. Like just make these small incremental changes. This is a mindset thing. Change that mindset, make sure you're on the same page, and then just live it out. Just live it out.
Yeah.
Like we did a core values. We had core values for our family.
Yeah, we did.
Again, and we painted them and put them on our wall, like painted pictures. And we did a whole podcast about this too. We
did.
Buried way back in the beginning stages, but there's a whole thing on core values that help set the culture for your family. Like,
I mean, for me on a personal level, like if, 40 years down the road, literally, if Lucy's sitting here talking about her life and what was meaningful for her, I want for her to be able to say of her own home that those are things, she has warm memories of what the culture felt like. And when she came here, she knew that G and JJ would have this, that, and the other for her. Like, that's important for me. Like, that is literally a legacy that I want to build for our family moving forward.
Yeah.
But you and I also agree on that. So
yeah, that is true.
It's easier to do.
So this is easy. Well, it may seem easy to talk about. It's
not easy to implement.
No, this is just you make up your mind, you change, and you just do it. And you just stick to it and you do it. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be great. And it will change. You're depending on how old your kids are, where you're at. If you don't have kids, when you have babies, like everything has those, they change
constantly.
And so constantly be going to your significant other and be like, okay,
where are we at?
We good? Like, what do we need to do? We need to adjust some things? Do we need to move something?
Yeah.
What needs to change? Those are okay conversations to have. Have the conversation. At least you're asking the questions. That's a great place to start. And it may be, you listen to this podcast, share it with your significant other if you haven't, and say, do we have a culture? What is it? No, we have one. What is our culture?
Right.
Maybe that's the question. What is our culture?
Yeah.
And how do we want to make it better? Do we like it? Are we okay with it? Oh, that's a great question to just start with. But I would love to hear someone from around the world, because there's people all over the world listening. I want to hear, I want you to share your moment with us. Maybe from your childhood, something that marked you. If you're listening on Apple, if you're listening on Spotify, there's a place there where you send a text. You can literally just text it to us and send it to us, or you can go on our Instagram, you can go on our TikTok, you can go on any of the other Facebook, any of the other socials that are out there, and just leave a comment. We have our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, subscribe. If you want to watch some videos, we're trying to get our videos up so you can actually watch us look like idiots instead of just listening to us.
Speaking of, last week was a good week
But
to make us look like an idiot.
Well, last week everyone was sick. So it was,
Well,
yes, everyone but Michael and I.
okay.
And so we were like, let's make this fun since the ladies aren't here. Let's do shots every time we say a word.
I was like, can't do that.
Can't do
that because
that.
I get out of control. So we had the idea we'd smack each other in the face with
When
tortillas.
y'all said words, I was sick in a different room. And so I texted each of them separately their like buzzwords or whatever. It was hard for me to think for you, Michael, with like filler speech or
Well, it
words
worked
you
out
say
great.
often. Well, for you it did.
I got the crap beat out of me.
Yeah.
I don't think I said my filler
You
word
didn't. I
once.
just hit you
You
because I wanted to
didn't.
hit you. It was bad.
So
there's
that.
some tortilla slapping going on that hopefully that'll be on YouTube soon. So we're trying to get our stuff up, but thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sharing. If you're listening on one of your podcast platforms, man, if you've really liked it, we'd love, just subscribe. If you even feel really, really good about us and you just really want to help us, write a review.
Heck yeah.
Send
We
something
would
that
love to hear from you.
Yeah, we'd love to just hear. It just helps us keep
Well, and
spreading the word.
the whole purpose of this is to help families come together,
Exactly.
relationships come together. So if there is a way that we can help you, we would love to know.
Yeah, if you have a question you want to ask us,
Ask it.
info@unpacktogether.com is our email. Write your email, send it away. I'd love to talk to you and help you out if I can.
Yeah.
Reach out to us on any of our socials. We're here. We literally started this to help people because when we started, There was nothing that really helped us. And so our desire was we're going to do this as soon as we can. And it took us 14 years. So
That's cool. That's
Here
great.
we go.
but here we go. And all is good. Anything else to add?
Nope.
We're all good?
If you don't do it, no one else is.
That's right.
True. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
as
guys.
always,
Go
dogs.
dogs.